Hey, I'm Josh, and welcome again to Whiteboard Friday. Today we're going to talk a little bit about pitching your nonprofit. And so when I think about when you go and give a pitch, there are three key things to remember: the delivery of that pitch, the content of that pitch, and the language you use in that pitch. So delivery. Well, one of the key things you have to always remember about delivery is you have to have confidence. That confidence comes across even if what you're saying might be a little bit hard to understand. If you're confident in that communication, that message is going to be really well received. The next is energy. If you have a lot of energy, people are going to definitely be drawn in. If you're a little bit low energy, people are going to kind of sit back, lean back, and not be as engaged. And then the last thing is emotion. Have passion. Be excited about what you're doing. It kind of goes a little bit with energy, but if you talk with that passion, people are going to believe in you and have a lot more confidence in you. So that's delivery. When it comes to content, there are kind of three key things you should remember there as well: the why, the what, and the how. So the why, this is kind of the concept of starting with why. There's a fantastic book written all about this by Simon Sinek. You can actually Google Simon Sinek TED Talk, and there you can hear all about it in about 15 minutes. But really what this has to do with in the nonprofit world is really, what's the problem you're going to solve? Why do you need to exist as an organization to solve a very compelling and important problem? The next is the what. What's the unique value proposition, or the UVP, that you have as an organization that's going to make you the best one to go and address that problem? And then the last is the how. How are you actually going to go do this? What are the tactics that you're going to employ to go achieve that objective? And then the last thing that you should consider is the language. And the language here is, the first one you want to remember is keep things simple. I like to call this, and there's another book on this called Weekend Language, which is, how do you talk in a conversation? Don't use too many terms of art or things that might confuse someone who doesn't know about your industry as much. The other thing that you have to think about is avoid the curse of knowledge. So we spend a lot of time every day working on whatever it is we're working on, and in the industry that we're in. And so you start to forget all the context that you have and you gather through that everyday interaction or everyday work that you're doing. And so when you're pitching someone or you're talking to someone about what you do, you got to avoid assuming that they know as much as you do. And so you have to do a little bit more explanation than you normally would with someone who knows a lot about what you're doing. And then the last thing is tell a story. Some of the best salespeople are the best storytellers. If you're able to tell a story, that puts everything in context and also can help tap into emotions that someone might have around that specific subject matter within that story. It kind of ties everything together that you've already talked about, and it reinforces the value proposition of what you're going to do. Come again next week for another Whiteboard Friday.